This episode of Profiles in Risk is brought to you by InsurTech Connect Las Vegas. The legendary ITC is coming back home to Las Vegas October 14 to 16 at the Mandalay Bay Casino. ITC is the largest InsurTech conference in the world by a long shot and the absolute cannot miss event of the year. We never miss it, neither should you. Register today using our discount code ITCV25SP200 to save $200 off of registration. Again, the code is ITCV25SP200. Register today and see you in Vegas, baby. And when you're there, look for me. I'm the guy with the red top hat, very easy to find, and ask me for some magic. See you in Vegas. Hello and welcome to Profiles in Risk. This is your host, Tony Cañas, pitching the second in, I think, a triple header today. And today I am recording with Eric Adler, CEO and founder at Flume Water. Eric, thank you for joining me today. How's it going?
It's going great. Thanks for having me, Tony.
Fantastic. Normally, break the ice over the weather. We're recording on we're recording on June, the other J, on June 26th, 24th. Okay. We are recording on June 24th, 2025. And it looks on LinkedIn like you are in San Diego. So Southern California, I'm guessing, is just beautiful all year round. So how's
It's
the
pretty beautiful year round. Yeah, we're based out of San Luis Obispo, which is on the central coast of California.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, it's mid 70s, sunny. Right now, I think the Midwest and Northeast is experiencing a mega heat wave. So I'm
Here in Atlanta, Georgia, we have been very, very hot. And we're used to the heat, but holy crap, it like my roller skate this morning at like 8 a.m. was 90 degrees. Uh,
yeah.
and I cannot even imagine having gone a little later with the sun actually like on me.
Yeah.
Because it is stupidly hot. And I'm heading to New York tomorrow for a quick back and forth. So I'm sure that that'll be fun. Uh, and then I'm heading to Vegas on Friday for a weekend at the number one magic school in the world, the Jeff Marbury School of Magic and Mystery. Yeah, lots of heat, lots of heat. All
That's
right.
pretty cool. It sounds.
Um,
I have some friends in the magic space, so maybe we can talk.
really? So you've got magician friends?
Yeah, are you familiar with a guy named Lawrence LaRouche, Majinx? Maybe I'll send you his info.
Send me his
Yeah,
info. I don't think I am. I'm fairly new in the space. 2 years of being a magician and only a couple of months since going to the magic school for the first time and really getting into it. So yeah, do send me his info.
yeah, it's super cool. I love
Fantastic.
it.
Any episode where
Hey,
where
there we
uh,
go.
where people are into magic is a good episode in my book. All right. So what kind of magic does Flume Water do? We
Yeah, it's
always give
probably
the guest a chance to give the elevator
cool as
pitch.
that trick that you just did. Yeah, we definitely don't have tricks quite like that, but
But this one doesn't save insurance companies money. In
no,
fact, this one
we
could cost
do.
insurance companies money because I do have insurance as a magician, and it hasn't happened yet. But it's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
what we always give the guest a chance to give the elevator pitch. What is Flume Water?
Yeah, so I mean, just like you said, we save insurance companies money and we save homeowners the pain and experience of having to file a water damage claim and be removed from their house, for having a leak that destroys part of their home without them knowing. And then, they have to have this terrible experience related to water damage, right? And so the way we do that is a combination of a simple DIY self-installed sensor and a service of Flume technicians and team that actually reach out to customers and help them identify where issues might be in the home and help them find these issues, fix them, and make sure water damage does not happen on their property. So our sensor is a little self-installed product that you install on your water meter. It arrives at your door. You're up and running in about 10 minutes. And then we're actively monitoring your home for leaks 24/7. And we notify you of small leaks before they become big issues. More or less, that's the pitch. And the end result of this is that we reduce total water loss costs when you combine frequency and severity for the insurance companies. We reduce that combination by about 70%.
Holy
So we're
crap.
saving insurance companies a huge amount of money on water damage just by early detection of these leaks in homes.
All right, all right, all right. So it makes intuitive sense to me why this would be good. And it's one of those rare win-wins where not only is the insurance company saving money, but the consumer is avoiding the painful process. It's avoiding a deductible and the painful process of
Right.
going through a claim. And as you pointed out, the painful process of spending time outside of their home. Because even if you have amazing coverage and we do pay for your hotel, that is still not a fun time, right? That this is still incredibly disruptive to your life outside and beyond the financial piece. So the device, DIY, 10 minutes. So I personally, I'm not a homeowner. I have been in the past, but currently I have an apartment. Um, my DIY skills are very limited. Very, very limited. It comes from having grown up in Costa Rica where labor is cheap. I basically
Yeah.
never had to learn to do anything myself. There's a rumor that I might be able to change light bulbs, but I have not succeeded every time I've tried it. So
If
this is
you
the
can
kind of
change a
thing
light
that
bulb, that's good enough.
okay, perfect. So is this the kind of thing that I myself can install, or like do I need tools? Because I don't even have a tool set.
There's not a single tool needed. There's
Okay,
one little kind of hook we provide you with, but that's about it. So
okay.
the this whole strategy and the whole the whole strategy we have around distributing these devices and getting
Mm-hmm.
customers home, it would never work unless DIY installation was an
Okay.
option, right?
So
Because
true DIY. I don't need an hour on YouTube to figure out how to do this.
I almost don't want to call it. We almost try to not say DIY because DIY implies that you
Yes.
need to have some skill, right? This is
Perfect.
just self-installed. It's like
Perfect.
you don't think about DIY when you activate your like Amazon Alexa speaker, right? You're just
Correct.
activating
Yes.
the speaker, right? So this you're self-activating this product. The way that it works is the vast majority of homes in the US, over 90% of homes in the US, are attached to a city water meter, right? So if you have a home, you get your water from somewhere. It's typically
Mm-hmm.
from the city.
Mm-hmm.
10% of homes in the US or so have their own well that they actually dug, but the vast majority of homes in metropolitan areas are attached to city water.
Mm-hmm.
That city water has a water meter on it. And the water meter is what the city uses to send you a bill every month, right?
Yep.
So they come by every month, they read it, they say, hey, you used 100 units of water. We're going to bill you a couple $100, whatever that might be. And that's how they do it.
Mm-hmm.
Those water meters are built with a mechanical device inside them that spins, and our sensor reads that spinning motion. And so all it is this. I mean, it sounds complicated, but it's this magnetic sensor that you go install on the meter, and it just is a little kind of like a Fitbit for your water meter, just straps around it with some rubber
A
straps.
Fitbit for your water bill. Uh-huh.
Yeah, kind of think about it that way. And it just
Okay.
goes around the water meter and you set it on there. You don't have to cut any pipes. You don't have to unscrew anything. You just open the lid, put it on there. You might get a tiny bit dirty because there can be a little bit of dirt in the water meter pit. But once that's installed, that's really the last time you have to interact with the sensor. The
Okay.
battery life is about 5 years. After 5 years, we'll send you new batteries or we'll just send you an entirely new sensor, and you're good to go. It's essentially like having a smoke detector for your house, but for water, right? And that's we try to make it
All
as
right.
easy as that.
All right. And it's a single device.
It's a single device. So historically, with water, people would try to cover their house in these little like water puck sensors, right? And
Mm-hmm.
you kind of try to guess where water might spill on the floor. So you
Okay.
put
The
one
most likely places.
most likely place, like put one next to the toilet, next to the shower, next to your hot water heater, your like washing machine. But the problem with those is that it's only detecting the leaks after water's already on the floor. And you also have to cover your house in like 20 of these things. And you very easily can miss where the actual issue is, right? And so it's kind of a flawed technology. And so we were focused on monitor the whole home plumbing system, all the water usage that goes through the meter we're capturing. So super, super small leaks, super high flow. any usage, we're seeing that through that one single sensor on the house.
Fantastic. All right. So it's set up on the thing,
Yeah.
on the pipe, and then after that, do I like open an app and log it into Wi-Fi, or how does it communicate back to home?
Yeah, it's a good question. So, we've been talking about the hardware, but the hardware, like once you get the hardware up and running, there's no more interaction with the hardware really. From that point forward, all the interactions with the Flume app.
Okay.
So, like I just was checking my app this morning because I was having some, like I've been turning on irrigation, for the summer. So I have my sprinklers running. I'm trying to like make sure the lawn is staying in good shape. And I had some issue where I think I didn't one of the sprinklers wasn't set, and I wanted to see if water really ran at 6 a.m. this morning. And I was able to pull up the Flume app. I can look at 6 a.m. and I can see minute by minute usage of exactly what happened. And I actually was able to see that, in fact, the sprinkler did not run at 6 a.m. and there's an issue with it. And so you can see like all that usage in the app, down to the minute, by day, by week, however you want to look at it. And
All
that's really,
right. All right. So
where the
I don't have kids, but it sounds like the kind of thing that will allow suburban dads to yell at their teenage daughter for taking long showers,
uh,
even if they're not home.
suburban dads are our number one customer. They
Of
love this
course.
product,
Of
right? I
course.
mean, they love the facts. I mean, I think one of the big things with it is it's like control. I mean, like previously with water bills, it was kind of like getting like a credit card bill every month without having any data on like where your money went. It's like, okay, well, your credit card bill is three, four, $5,000 this month, let's say, whatever that might be, but you're not getting shown like why it was that much. And
Mm-hmm.
so with Bloom, now that Suburban Dad is saying, okay, our bill is a couple $100 each month, but it's because, kid 1, 2, 3 is taking 20-minute showers in the morning, or we're using 1,500 gallons of water every time we like sprinkler our lawn, which is numbers that can actually be real. Like you
That
use a
is
ton
so
of water.
insane. So the lawn thing, from my perspective, so I grew up in Costa Rica. I've been in the
Yeah,
States for 23 years. I only had a lawn for about 4 years, about 2 years actually. I only had a lawn for about 2 years, and I hated it. And
it's
then
a
I
liability.
it's a pain that's to take care of.
Yeah,
And then I visited. I spent 6 months in Scottsdale, Arizona, and I saw the rock lawns. And I'm like, if I
yeah,
ever buy a house again, I don't care where in the country it is. That's what's going on the lawn,
yeah.
because it's freaking brilliant. Yeah, lawns are silly from my perspective. All right. So, okay.
But it's huge. 86% of our customers have lawns.
Yeah, of course, of
So it's
course.
like almost
Uh,
everyone has them, right? And shit always goes wrong in lawns, and it's like always a problem. So we capture all the outdoor usage, all the indoor usage,
uh
all the water we're
Okay.
picking up.
And okay. So the device lets me track water usage, which
Yep,
clues me into when something is out of the ordinary. That makes intuitive sense. Okay. So when
yeah,
something is
yeah.
out of the ordinary, do I call my own plumber, or how do your service reps help me?
So we try to make this as automated and as scalable as possible, right? There are some other companies out in the space that are using the model where they have hardware they deploy to your house, and then they also have a plumber in the area that they're going to send to your home. Now, it's an interesting concept to do this for sure, but to actually like scale this solution and
It's
have
really
plumbers in
complex and
every
expensive.
city and have this. I mean, the US is
Hmm.
huge. There's many cities out there. And to actually be able to deploy sensors across an entire book of business for an insurance carrier, it's just not very scalable to do it that way. So what
Hmm.
we do is we try to make it as automated as possible. We notify you and say, hey, Tony, it looks like there's an issue in your house. You either have a very small flow of water that's happening for a long time, or you have a super high flow of water that just spiked a few minutes ago, and we want to tell you about it right away.
Minimize the
Uh,
loss right now. Yes.
yeah, and your water usage, like unlike electricity, there's always background electrical usage, right? But your water usage should almost always go to zero. So
Interesting. Never thought of that, but that makes sense.
yeah, there basically should not be any usage happening in the background. So from a like a notification perspective, we can be super accurate about figuring out what is normal and what is not normal. And then we do all this analysis on other usage to identify what's a shower, what's a sink, what's a dishwasher, what's a washing machine. We actually can like bucket all those events. But then we notify you, say, hey, there's an issue. 95% of the time, when we notify a customer and say, hey, there is a problem, that customer resolves the issue on their own, which is a very high number, right? So if we say, hey,
Fantastic.
yeah,
So
you've got a problem,
you're catching things early.
we're catching things early. And maybe it's not going to be a damaging leak. Like, right, maybe it's like the most common thing that happens is a toilet flapper leak. And I'm sure at some point in your life, like you've heard a toilet running, right? And we'll pick that up and we'll notify you. And the customer will say, okay, well, that wasn't going to cause damage or was unlikely to, but Flume caught it. It built trust in the system. We
Mm-hmm.
notified them of that issue and they fixed it. Sometimes they fix it on their own. Sometimes most people just have a plumber. If you own a house, you typically have a plumber you've used in the past because stuff always breaks and
Absolutely.
you've gone out and you talked to somebody. So typically they'll go to that person. For the 5% of customers that are unable to resolve the issues, and we see this constant usage happening, we have kind of a specialist team at Flume that is reaching out to those customers via in-app chat, via text, getting on the phone with them, and we're going to help them identify where that issue might be. And that customer might say, oh, you know what? This is a small leak in my irrigation system. Like I know it exists. It's not going to cause any damage. I'm going to
Uh-huh.
get around to fixing it in a couple months. And we'll say, okay, they're aware of it. They're going to fix that later. Or other times they might say, hey, I have no idea where this is. Can you recommend somebody in the area? And we can quickly recommend some like top plumbers in the region to go reach out to and come out and fix the issue. And once someone knows about a problem, they don't want it to just be going on. Like no one wants to have water damage in their home. No one wants their house to burn down from an electrical issue, right? Like so people want to protect their property and we're there to kind of help facilitate that process.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. So the device, who pays for it? Is it the kind of thing that your insurance carrier buys you, or do you buy it up front, or how does that work?
You pay nothing. So as the policyholder, this is just a benefit provided by your insurance carrier. And the way this model works is that we have to show an ROI to the insurance carrier, right?
Mm-hmm.
So really, it's a B2B to C model, right? Like we have to sell to the insurance company, and then combined with the insurance company, we technically have to sell to the end user, the end policyholder. The end policyholder, this what we consider a sale is them saying, yes, we want to enroll in this program, we want to participate in this leak detection service that's being provided by Farmers Insurance or by Nationwide Insurance, or by USA Insurance, right? And
Such a
so,
West Coaster. You immediately go to farmers.
yeah, exactly. And Farmers actually is not a customer of ours right now, but we're working on it.
Okay.
But so the homeowner pays nothing. The insurance company pays two things. They pay for the hardware up front. They pay one fee for actually the sensor being shipped to that house. And then they pay an ongoing fee every year or every month for the service and monitoring that we're providing to that customer. And the goal of this is that we provide about a 4x ROI to the carriers. So if they're paying us
Fantastic.
$50 a year, we want to, on average, be returning $200 per year in value
So
to them.
what is the cost per policyholder?
So it's $99 for the sensor, and then
Uh-huh.
it's $49 per year for the monitoring and service.
How much per year?
49.
49. Okay. So basically the first year it's 150 bucks, and then from
Yeah.
there forward it's 49 per year. What about when it comes time to replace the sensor? Then it's another 99 bucks.
No, we cover that. So it's once that upfront fee has been paid and this insurance carrier is paying the ongoing $49 per year, that's the last time they have to pay for anything
Perfect.
farm related. So if
Perfect.
there's any
Perfect. So
batteries that have to be replaced, they last about 5 years. We send new batteries to that customer. once its time has come, if there's a say a new generation of a sensor that gets developed, 5 years from now, it's very likely there'll just be another generation of the sensor. We'll just send them a new sensor to replace it. So we're not going to be nickel and dime the carriers
Beautiful.
on the hardware. It's just an ongoing service we're providing at that point.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. So super easy for the CFO's team to model this. Quite
Yes.
simply, like
Yeah.
number for the first year, it's a number of separate homeowners policy or the number of homes we insure times 150, and then every ongoing year, number of homes we insure times 49, and then the savings are 70% of water losses. Like
There you
right,
go.
and that's if you deploy your entire portfolio. Chances are you're gonna test it out and do a pilot and all that kind of crap. uh wow, even I could have done that Excel file. I did
Yeah.
1 year at Nationwide corporate finance, and it sucked, and I sucked at it. But this particular project, even I could have sold this particular project up the chain. uh
Yeah.
all right, and
Now,
water
of
is,
course,
yeah,
they want, I mean, you can show them as much data
of course,
as you possibly pull together, and you can tell this story many times, but every carrier out there, they don't care what other carrier data there is. They want their own data,
of
right? They
course.
want to see it on their own homes. And so we do have some, call it early adopter carriers in the space, Nationwide Insurance, Pure Insurance, USAA, who recently launched a program with, who are kind of, you know, dipping their toes in the water, and they're testing this out before other carriers are, and we're seeing really, really good results. But as we start getting some momentum here, I'm really excited about kind of where it's going to go in the market and seeing more carriers get on board.
Fantastic, fantastic. All right. So yeah, this intuitively makes sense. I think every property underwriting leader that is listening to this will make sense too. Um, and every listener to the podcast, since it's all insurance people, knows that water is one of the greatest pain in our behinds for insurance companies. It is extremely expensive. It is. I can't remember if it's like the top or the second top cost of loss for non-catastrophic
It's
losses. But yeah, it's one of the top ones, right?
it's
Top.
the top. Now, we have these catastrophic events where you have massive wildfires, right? And so for a certain year, you can have those numbers be totally mixed around if you have one major catastrophic event. But on average, water damage is the largest cost for insurance companies across their portfolio. And especially in places like California, Southern California, the average cost of these losses are in like the 30 to $40,000 range. So they're large losses, just for a small water leak that's happening in a home.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. So I'm looking at the website. I was like checking out the websites. Flume reduces water damage claims by 80%. Amica, Hippo, and Mercury have allowed you to include their logos. Uh, Flume solves a $20 billion per year with a B problem. Non-weather water loss is the number one loss category for US PNC carriers. Simple proven solution, self-install, early detect, they get notified. Uh, 70% of Flume users detect a leak and stop water waste. 80% is the average reduction of claims compared to non-Flume users. And 50% of Flume users report a more positive opinion about their insurance company. Okay, I'm going to slow down and read this one again. 50% of Flume users report a more positive opinion about their insurance company. That is huge, and that's not even contemplated in the reduction in losses. That is huge. So CMOs, this is for you. uh and then there's a few quotes about why homeowners love Flume. And I won't read those because they're a little bit long, but yeah, this makes perfect sense to me. I'm always curious on the origin story. uh so
Yeah.
so it looks like you guys have been running this thing for 7 years. And and I love how you go from co-founder CEO to chief strategy officer back to CEO. So, but yes, I'm very curious on the origin story. How did you realize this was a need for the insurance industry, and that you guys were the right people to uh to do this?
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for asking that. We have kind of a fun origin story. So it was me and a couple friends who went to school at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. That's where the company's headquartered today. So San Luis Obispo it's on the central coast of California. It's a beautiful small college town. It's a very good engineering school. And I met a couple guys there when I was studying engineering and
Mechanical, right?
mechanical engineering, correct? And when you do your senior project at Cal Poly as an engineer, you typically work with, someone like a Boeing will come in or a Lockheed Martin or a Tesla, and they'll have, engineers do some sort of senior project for free for them to kind of like get some experience and you learn something.
Makes sense.
There's a bit of an alternative path there where if you had your own idea or own something that you wanted to work on, they gave you quite a bit of leeway to go after that. And so we've actually been doing this for more than 7 years. In about 2015, 2016, California was in the midst of a
Huge
massive,
drought.
huge drought. And it's always kind of California goes in and out of droughts, but it was really, really bad. Me and friends used to always
I
go up to the
remember.
lakes, go boating and spend time in the lake. The lakes were gone. Like you actually could not go on the lakes anymore because the reservoirs were just emptied. And so we were trying to figure out a way to engage homeowners and water users throughout a city and notify them about their water usage and just like provide some information because no one had any idea how much water was used for showers or sprinklers or anything. It's just this, you got one data point per month and from your water utility and you never saw like where the water actually went. So like
Yeah,
that was the real idea. It was more of a conservation, help customers understand their usage,
love it.
try to identify all this water usage, and they're like, save the world sort of thing, right? And like that was the mission initially. We took it on. We were trying to figure out the best way to develop a affordable, simple to install solution. We tried a few different products, a few different innovation, kind of different types of sensors, and we eventually realized that the best way to do this is a non-invasive self-installed sensor that can go on any water meter and be installed by anyone. So
Fantastic.
that's what we did. We graduated from college. We raised some small angel funding and venture funding. We lived off a very small amount of money for many, many years. And then as we started working and developing this product, we originally sold our very, very first customers actually were insurance carriers. Pure, who's one of our customers now, was one of the very first customers to buy some product.
For high net
And
worth carriers, like it makes sense for any homeowners carriers, but for high net worth carriers, this is such a no-brainer.
I mean, their
Right, their
average
losses
loss
are
is
going to be ginormous when you do have a massive flood, and it costs you the
their
same.
yeah,
Right, the device costs you the same. If there's no limit to how big the house can be,
there
like
isn't.
the device on a 7,000 square foot Beverly Hills mansion saves you hundreds of
So
thousands
it's
in a prevented flood.
absurd to not have
Exactly,
it.
absolutely
it
absurd. Yes,
I mean, and we could go a different path down this, but yeah. So Pure, for example, their average water loss cost across their portfolio is $80,000.
not a surprise. Yeah,
Not a surprise, right? Almost surprised it's not higher, but it's $80,000. So the very first customers we got were insurance companies, but it was kind of too early. Like the only other company doing loss prevention at that time was Roost, and there really just was not an industry there. So they kind of tested some things out. Our product was not finalized. It was very much so in the beta phase, but we were kind of testing it there. We then went to selling direct consumer on Amazon and our website, and those suburban dads were eating it up. Like they loved, buying the product.
gadgets,
And tech dads loved our stuff.
of course.
And we began working with water utilities and cities all over the US, primarily with like conservation and leak detection programs. And the cool part about our product is that it really does like achieve that mission of conserving water. So on average, if you install Flume, your water usage will go down by 15%. And that's primarily some of that is from, yelling at your kids for taking long showers, but a
Uh-huh.
lot of it is detecting leaks that are just wasteful. They might not cause damage, but they're going to be a toilet running or a sprinkler valve broken or something like that. And by detecting that, you're saving a whole bunch of money
Of
on
course.
water. And then over the past couple of years, there's been a real resurgence in the insurance industry focused on loss prevention. And
Thank God.
we've always known that we provide so much value to the carriers, but we were just a little bit too early. And so now we're seeing the carriers really start getting behind this, understanding the value proposition. So we're really leaning into it and very much so focused almost entirely on insurance at this stage.
Fantastic. This is super awesome. It really I love the origin story. Kind of a product that could only be born in California, or that was very likely to be born in California, with the combination
Yeah.
of the cost of living in California, the water problems. I was living in Berkeley, back in
Okay.
2013, 2014. Uh,
Yeah. So
and
you're totally aware of the
exactly
drought
20,
situation.
2014 to 2015. So I remember all of those, all of those drought, uh, you know, signs along the highway and ads and all that crap.
Yeah. Don't
Uh,
wash your car, don't water your lawn,
and for
all
me,
this
coming
marketing.
from originally from Costa Rica and then from 10 years in the Midwest, where water is abundant, this was really weird. And everybody I talked to about it was like, yeah, this is California. Like we're almost at a drought. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, so this makes so much sense. Absolutely. Love the origin story, love the environmental piece of it. It's a win-win-win, quite simply. Uh, so one last question, and I'm laughing because you might ask me to cut this part out, and that's fine. Just let me know.
Yeah, go
Uh,
for it.
all right. So what I love about digging into people's LinkedIn's is that you find the most random stuff, and the most random stuff right here is so during college. I'm guessing, June 2012 to 2014, you were the brand manager at Cali Polytech for Red Bull.
For
So
Red Bull. Yeah.
basically, so I
Yeah.
went to school in '02 through '06 at Iowa State, and at that
Yeah.
time, there were people, whose internship or whatever was like driving a Red Bull branded Jeep and like
Yeah.
Red Bull and getting us all addicted to it, which I am to this day. I've just switched to the to the low sugar one or no sugar one. Uh,
Right.
so
We
is that
got
what
you.
that was basically, running around? So tell me what, completely unreal.
Yeah.
The listeners that are potential buyers already decided if they're interested or not. They dialed off. At this point, we only have the nerds left. I'm so curious about the Red Bull brand manager job for 2 years.
Yeah, I mean that's being a Red Bull brand manager might be the coolest job you can have as a college kid, right? I mean it was awesome. So basically what you did is my job was just to slang Red Bull around campus, right? It was like
For
any
free,
party
right? You're giving out free
for
Red Bulls,
free.
basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we're giving out free Red Bulls. I would get thousands of Red Bulls delivered to my apartment in SLO, and me and my roommates would have an endless supply of Red Bull, and then I would go to all these events. So any
Uh-huh.
major parties that were happening, any major music
Would
event,
if there was a ticket to the event, would they pay for the ticket price?
sometimes. I mean,
Okay.
it was like, we were getting paid $100 a week. It was like we were getting
Yeah,
paid
you're
not.
getting paid a Red Bull, basically.
Yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
think we got paid for
Perfect.
10 hours of work per week,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it
yeah.
was
It's not that
it
bad.
was just fun. It was the funnest job you could have, right? I mean, we just got to go all these different things, and they would fly you to some places, and yeah, it was a super good time.
How
So
does
I was
one get that job? I always assumed that it was the kids, with that are majoring in marketing, and not only that, but how do I put this politely? I always assumed that it was the, cheerleaders who are majoring in marketing who get those jobs. At least that's the ones that had it when I was in college.
yeah.
How does one get
There's
that job
so
as an
there's two
engineer?
roles. There's the Red Bull Wings girls, and so
Uh-huh.
there anytime you see a Mini Cooper driving around with the big Red
Yeah,
Bull thing,
exactly, exactly.
it's always the Wings girls that are doing
Okay.
that job, and then you kind of had a manager for each campus, and
Ah,
manager for
okay.
each campus kind of pointed to like each event and activation and said, we need to be here. We need to bring in extra resources for this. We need to set up a tent for this big party or bring a DJ out or something like that.
Okay, so more logistics.
More logistics, and
Okay,
then it was all just about who you know. Like, yeah, it just
perfect.
one of my really good friends in college was a couple years older than me, and he happened to be the Red Bull guy before I was. And I, hey
Oh,
Scott, I want that job, and he just kind of passed the
pass the
baton to
torch.
me
Okay,
yeah, once he
fantastic. This is so. I always wondered.
yeah.
This is such a yeah. No kidding. All right,
It was
thank
a
you
cool
so much
job.
for
It was a cool gig for sure. Yeah,
thank
I
you so
enjoyed it.
much for entertaining me with that. Uh, Eric, true pleasure to chat with you today. The device and the service makes perfect sense. Uh, and for the listeners, although I'm sure at this point only the younger nerds stayed with us this late, but for the listeners, if you run underwriting, if you run loss control, even if you run claims, if you're in the innovation department of a carrier, if you have a homeowners book, this just makes sense. And yes, we know that it's going to be first a POC, and you need your own data because we're carriers and our
You
book
know,
is
it takes
different.
time.
Uh, this just makes sense. Do a POC, I dare you. And if it's not profitable, I'll buy you a drink at the next conference. Just call me. Uh, Thank you so much for your time. Uh, yeah, great chatting with you.
Yeah, likewise, Tony. This is great.